What makes CPS recommend family reunification services to a family? Well, it all depends on facts and circumstances of the case. But generally speaking, the law makes it super clear that you are entitled by law family reunification services, unless an exception to why you shouldn't get family reunification services. And that exception is an extreme exception. For example, if you had a prior CPS case and that led to termination of your services, termination of your parental rights, that could be used against you. If essentially the case is involving severe physical abuse or severe inappropriate touching, that can also lead to your chances to not reunify. The whole gist of the basis or the exception for why you shouldn't reunify comes down to the overall legislative objective, and or if you read between the lines of the law. If you do a particular conduct so extreme that breaches the trust between the child and the parent, how can you possibly reunify in this situation? Now, if it's something minor, there's always ways to try to get around it. But even then, that is the potential interpretation of it. You breached a trust. You severely harmed the child. You severely did this, and etc. But just because a severe conduct was done does not necessarily mean that you shouldn't be entitled to a chance to reunify. The department is supposed to provide you with resources to help remedy or rectify the situation on why a case opened in the first place. If it's severe physical abuse, well, we need to do severe therapy to make sure the child feels safe again. Because at first, oftentimes doing conduct situations like that, children and or child do not feel safe to go back home. They're scared because of whatever conduct. And obviously the parent's going to have their different perspective as it relates to that. But the overall big picture is to try to reunify. The law is set up to reunify families, not separate families. This is why you want to make sure you have the right and proper California CPS defense lawyer to advocate for you, to inform the judge of the overall legislative purpose, but also try to find any reasonable services that can not only prevent removal, but also reunify in the first place. They have resources. Their goal is to help and reunify. Make the children and our child safe again, but also make sure this doesn't happen again. Social workers sometimes will not make that initiative. This is why it's important for you to get the right California CPS defense lawyer to advocate for you, to hear you out, to see what needs to be done. At Shaw Law Firm, we're here to help and guide you.